Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on Meshach Quailey. He's had one fight, and his fight was a draw. And yes, good to get you on.
Yeah, thank you, mate. It's good to be on. I've been seeing all the good work that you're doing, all the boxers that you're interviewing. I've seen you've been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's an honoured to be joined by you, mate.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
And yeah, before we get into, your debut you had, talk about like how did you get into the sport of boxing originally?
So I got into the sport of boxing by keeping fit originally. I was just a keep fitter. But at the time, I was still like smoking weed and messing around. But somebody came along, two women from Northwest London, and they invested some money into me. And they moved me from South London to Northwest London. So one of them was a housing agent. She put me into one of the properties that she had, and she paid my fees for me to go and train with a professional coach called Luke Portainer. He had two, I think he had three pros at the time. Two was Ben Fell and Carl Fell. One of them, Carl Fell, was just turning over from the GB. Then they had Alex and Anivi. So I did a lot of work up there, and he kind of transformed me and showed me that it was capable for me to take the boxing thing seriously. So I was getting up early morning with Luke Porter doing 4:35 a.m. runs, and that's when I kind of knew, all right, cool, this boxing thing is serious. I can do it.
So, and what age were you?
At this time, I was about, well, when I was a keep fit, I was 20, but when the woman came along to invest in me, I was about 21. So that was like a year in.
Mm-hmm. And did you have an amateur background at all, or?
Yeah, I had an amateur background. I had a short amateur background. And in that, I only did 8 competitions as an amateur and one tournament in Sweden, one box cup. But after Sweden box cup, I decided to just turn over because it was never really for me. The pace was a little bit too fast for me, and I just felt like my style would have suited pros a bit more. And I always had a bit of a swagger, and I wanted to brand myself a bit more, which I knew wasn't really possible as an amateur. It's like you just come out with the vest on, you do your bout, your free threes or your free twos, and then you're gone. Nobody really knows who you are.
And you mentioned you boxed in the Sweden Box Cup. How did you get on in that?
Sweden box cut was good, man. So I won the first competition. I made it through to semi-finals, and then lost that one. I actually really damaged my thumb in that fight, which I suffered that injury for a year after that. My thumb only got better recently, just before my first pro match. So that was hindering my training for the year after that. It was such a big problem. I was going back and forth from the doctors, but they couldn't actually locate what the problem was. But I was trying to train around it. To be fair, at first I was still doing sparring. I was doing silly things and kind of making it worse. But slowly it got better. But at one point I was actually training with one hand for quite a few months, to be fair. But yeah, it got better in the end.
And just yeah, before we move on, how many amateur fights did you roughly have?
I did 8 amateurs. Yeah, 8 amateurs, but then I felt confident after that to just keep it moving. Said I was gonna learn on the job.
Oh, so have you just come out of the amateurs like last year or something?
Yeah, I came out of the amateurs straight after Sweden Box Cup. Yeah.
And just thought, did you just think that your style was more suited to the pro?
Yeah, definitely. But I had a long, hard think before I did it because I was like, oh, there's a lot of people that I'm gonna come up against that have had way more experience than me. But then I started to look at like the Fabio Wardleys and Anthony Yards, Dillian White, the Isaac Chamberlain, and I thought, you know what, if these guys can do it, I can definitely do it. I feel like it's more about what is your intention with boxing and where you plan to go and how much you're willing to sacrifice to get to where you want to go.
Exactly that. Of course, Fabio Wardley only had I think he had a handful of white collar fights, not
Yeah, yeah,
many,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he's British and Commonwealth champion.
Yeah, so it's possible, man. It's possible. You gotta have full self belief. People will call it delusion at first, but you got to believe in your delusion.
Yeah, of course. You've got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And of course you train at Blast Fit with Matt Hurst.
Yes, yes, yes. Matt Hurst. That's my new trainer. Before it was Miles Mitchell down in Streatham at Change the Globe, but now I'm with Matt Hurst.
Why did you change trainers? Was stuff not going right, or did you just think it was time for a change?
No, things were all right, but it's just small little things were going on in my personal life where I had to make a change to a new gym. It was actually my management team that sent me to Matt. They Goodwin, Stephen Goodwin provided me the number for Matt. So I could have ended up anywhere. I asked him to just give me a number to someone, and that was the first number he gave me.
Ah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. So your manager is Goodwin, is it?
Yeah, yeah, that's my manager. He's a lovely guy, man. Really good guy.
Yeah, I've spoken to him a few times. He's a nice guy, and he puts on good shows as well, which is good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodwin puts on good shows. He's a very realistic character. He'll tell you exactly what it is, and he won't sugarcoat it. If he can look after you, look after you, but he always keep it real.
Yeah, and of course you fought Victor Edagha last week, and it was on your pro debut at York Hall,
Yeah,
38 draw.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about the fight.
Do you know what it was? I think I got a little bit too excited with the occasion. I had a massive crowd. I sold 106 tickets. So once I got in there, I was just too excited. I wanted to blast him out of there, and I didn't stick to my boxing. I felt first 2 rounds I boxed, and then I just kind of lost it all because I got a little bit too excited. But to be fair, he's actually better than his resume states. He's got a lot of experience compared to me. He's had over 100 fights, so it was a good learning match.
Exactly that. Were you like of course nerves are good. Were you nervous before the fight? Before you went out?
You know what? It's funny because all the other boxing bouts that I've had, I've been nervous, but this was the first one where I was very excited. And I remember saying to my coach in the battle, excited to get out there. And I think that's what messed me up was the excitement.
Do you think what's the word? Do you feel like the occasion got to you just a bit?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because coming out, hearing people chanting my name, it was like, wow, never been in a position like this. So I think I played to the crowd a bit too much because I've had a lot of spars with a lot of big names, champions, and things like that. I don't think that fight was a great representation of who I am and what I can do as a boxer.
Yeah. Don't you also train people as well yourself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've trained people, youths, and women and men.
That's why you had such a big crowd, and I saw a few of the people you train walked you out as well to the ring.
Yeah,
Was
I
some
think as a
atmosphere, wasn't
boxer,
it?
yeah, 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 yeah. It's a crazy atmosphere. But do you know what I think? My advice to all upcomers is that obviously you're gonna work whatever job you want to work to provide for yourself and your family, but a great job to have if you're upcoming boxer is a personal trainer because you'll definitely sell a lot of tickets. Your clients will buy tickets and other gym members in the boxing gym will buy tickets as well. And that's why I've been so highly blessed. I've been a personal trainer for about 8 years and boxing coaching for the last year.
Yeah. It helps as well because I saw, was it you? Yeah, you made a video, I think it was either today or yesterday, about
Yes.
selling tickets.
Yes, yes. So I made that video. I think it was on last weekend. Because do you know what? Selling tickets is a tough thing, Because if you can't sell tickets in the small shows, you can't actually box, or you got to foot the bill yourself. So you
Yeah.
better have a job or something because, yeah, when it's time to walk into the room and give that money over to your management team, if you've not got it, you won't be boxing, and you better forget about boxing.
Mm. And of course you had such a good slot on the card. You were, well, second to last on, so sort
Yeah.
of co-main event, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would have been nice to top it off with a win, even more so a knockout. But you live and you learn. It was a
Do
good
you agree
learning.
with the draw?
I didn't agree with it, because I was pressing the action. However, I feel that times I was a little bit too excited. I was making it street fight at times.
So were you, when it went to the scorecards, were you confident that you would get the nod, or
I was confident I'll get the nod, but I weren't happy with my performance. As soon as I walked over to my corner, I said I didn't like how I boxed. But when he said draw, I couldn't believe it. But I just thought, oh well, I'm the type of guy that's like, oh well, move on to the next.
mm,
Yeah,
what do you feel like? Of course, you know you're gonna be your what's the word? You're gonna criticize yourself. That's how boxers are,
yeah.
and you always see somewhere to do better. But do you see a bit like what do you feel like went right that night?
Yeah, oh, it was chaotic to be fair from the get go. I'll be honest with everyone. And from when I was in the changing room, there was a lot of chaotic things going on. Like I was supposed to have my cousin, who is a rap artist, a very good rap artist, walk me out, and we're having issues with getting him a microphone, and that's where the main problem started. So I knew it was going to be a bit of an issue because if you're a boxer and you've got things planned, they should be able to take care of it for you so you're stress free, so you can just warm up and do what you've got to do. Then I had people texting my phone still trying to buy tickets at the last minute, and obviously I wanted to.
What, when you were getting ready?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was still selling tickets. Well, that's what nobody knew except people in the back. I was still selling tickets whilst I was getting ready. I was collecting the money. Yeah, so
Nightmare.
I only switched off my. It was when Matt said like you got flight mode your phone. This was probably at like I'd say 7, and I was scheduled to come out around 8. So I just thought, and I had 2 people who lost their tickets on the way, and they were bothering me about that. I had one person saying their friend didn't come, so they couldn't collect the ticket. Can I refund them? So I just had to switch off my phone, and then
Do you feel like next time you just set a deadline for the whole ticket situation?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Setting a deadline is the best thing, but that's what I mean. The whole thing was a good experience because day of the fight, I was running around selling tickets. People refunding, get wanting their tickets, wanting their money back for the ticket, and I was able to sell the tickets straight away. But I was running up and down on the street. I was taking train to this place, that place, up to Bedford, Luton, down to Red Hill. I was doing everything because I felt like I wanted to put my face out there, and I wanted people to feel like he cares enough to come and visit us with tickets. But on the next occasion, things will have to change, man. It was getting hectic. My phone was blowing up constantly, even since the fight. And for me, I'm not used to that, so it was all hard to handle. Some people were taking offense that I weren't responding in time, but it was just a bit too much for me.
I mean, especially when you're in the middle of, getting you want to warm up, get ready for the fight, but yeah, maybe you'll learn from that as sort of as well as the fight itself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That could have contributed to why I drew or why I performed the way I performed because everything goes hand in hand.
Do you think you didn't warm up properly?
Um, no, I think the warm up was good because I brought my strength and conditioning coach Carl. But however, what he explained to me in our most recent session is that I was warming up with my stablemate Ed Chatty, and
Yeah, because he was boxing, Ed was.
yeah, he was boxing before me, but he started to warm up obviously in time for his fight. So once I saw him moving, I think subconsciously I just got up and started moving around as well, and I kind of probably burnt myself out a little bit.
Yeah, because you was on after Ed.
Yeah, so I don't think I should have got up and moved around so soon when he was moving around. A lot of little things. People, but I obviously gave my number because I have a group chat for all my supporters. There's like 100 people in my group chat. Then I
You still there? Lost you a bit. I can't hear you at the minute, mate. You still there?
Yeah. I'm still there.
So, can you repeat what you were saying? Because I lost you for a minute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I can hear you. I can
Can
hear
you
you. I
repeat
can hear
what
you.
you were saying? Because I just lost it.
Oh, sorry. Basically, what I'm saying is that I have a group chat for all my supporters. Some for the family, some for the friends. So I put the numbers of each coach that was going to be with me in these group chats, and people were contacting them and bothering them. So they were relaying the information back to me. So I think it was a lot for everybody because I had so many people. So that kind of messed up the flow of things as well.
Would you want to rematch Victor Edgar straight away, or no?
I thought about it, but there's no point, man. He's not there. He's a journeyman, isn't he? He's just there to collect his money, so it's not going to really matter much. It's just an experience, and he's a bit too awkward as well. He's not. I've watched a lot of fights with him against others, and he doesn't come in to make you look good.
Because he fought Ed as well.
Yeah. Everybody that I've seen go against him doesn't look too great against him, so it's a bit of a trick.
But if it comes up, it comes up.
If it came up again, I'll take it happily. I'll never back down from the challenge, 100%. But I don't think it's necessary, really. Just move on to the next one, and just make sure I perform better the next time around.
And am I right in saying December 7th, is that the date that's looking likely?
December. So I had a word with Goodwin, and he told me he was happy with the amount of tickets I sold, and he wants to put me on Box Mania for December the
That's
7th. So,
Goodwin's big show, that.
yeah, that's a big show. So hopefully, you lot will see me out on Box Mania December the 7th, and this time it will be bigger and better, even more support, and the crowd will still be cheering.
100%. And of course, before I let you go, mate, do you want to thank whether that's your fans, your friends, your family, team, coaches, anybody as always sponsors?
Yes. Firstly, I just want to thank Allah because with none of this would be possible. So that's most important. But also, I want to thank my team up at Blast Fit. I want to thank my friends and family for traveling down and buying tickets to see me fight and just keep supporting me, keep watching my journey. This is just the beginning, and I'm gonna keep growing. And I want to thank yourself for interviewing me. And that's it, really.
Any time, mate, and well done on the fight last week.
Thank you very much, man. Nice one.
Nice one, mate. Bye.
All right, take care.